Hello, this is Yolanda with extraordinarytrading.com. I am a full-time Forex trader. I have been trading for almost 4 years and I am absolutely passionate about trading. So I am starting a new series on my channel where I am going to show you my profits and losses for each week. Now, before I get started, I do need to apologize for a couple of things. Number one, I am using a different recording software. The software that I usually use, it will not record with the presentation and presentation mode. And the sound quality of the software that I am using is a bit glitchy and it's not as good as the software that I typically record with. And then also, I am a homeschooling mom, so you may hear some noise from my little one. In fact, it is highly likely. I will do my best to speak as loud as I can so that you all can hear me over any noise that he's making, but I did want to forewarn you. So, let's get started. I do want to tell you all that the results you are going to see, these are not outlier results, okay? So this is not results that's outside the norm at all. This is very typical results for what I get on a weekly basis. There are weeks when my results are twice or more what you're going to see here, and there are weeks when my results are less. But this is very normal, okay? So the first thing that I'm going to do is walk through my different membership groups. For those of you who are not familiar with them, I have 3 different membership groups. The first one is my free membership, and currently enrollment is closed in this one. I do periodically close enrollment in each of the groups, but this group, the people who are currently enrolled in this group, they usually get 1 free trade each week, and that trade, I usually have a goal of getting them about a 100 pip profit on that trade, and I try to get them in and out of that trade within a 24 to 48 hour period of time. Things don't always work out as planned. This is kind of a more risky group to be in because, like I said, I do usually only send them 1 trade per week, and it's hit or miss as to whether or not that trade will end up in profit. But for it's not uncommon that we'll have a span where for 3, 4, 5 weeks at a time they've had all winning trades. So it's not as if it's completely useless to be in the group, but it's hit or miss if you're getting 1 trade. There are weeks, like I said, where I do send them more than 1 trade each week. Okay, the second group in purple. This is a newer group that I have recently formed. This group is for people who are interested in earning a passive income, but not necessarily interested in becoming a trader. Or for people who have tried their hand at trading, it didn't work out for them, and so they're looking for some additional help. Or for people who are trading on a full-time basis but want some help with their income. Okay, now with this group, I send them trade alerts once per day between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time or Eastern Time. Okay, so members in this group, they have the option of receiving their notification via text message, and they can enter their orders using their cell phone, a tablet, or using their computer. So when I send out alerts, the members receive the entry price, the profit target, and the stop loss. The third group is my premium membership group, and this group receives an unlimited number of trades. They get the trades that the members of the 1 hour group gets, and then I also usually send them 1 trade during the Asian session, and sometimes I will send them 1 trade midday. Okay, members in the premium group, this group is really intended for people who have a bit more flexibility in their schedule and are just trying to maximize their income. So they're not necessarily as concerned about when they're going to get the alerts. They just want to get the alerts and get the profits. Okay. Now, the other thing is that here I am only showing you trades that have closed this week. Okay. And sorry for the noise, guys. I am not showing you any active trades at all. Members of the 1 hour and premium groups are in about 6 active trades right now. Now, of those 6 active trades, 4 or 5 of them are currently in profit. And so if members wanted to close out those trades before the weekend, they could. However, it is very typical for me to carry trades into the following week. Very typical for me. Usually trades that I enter during the early parts of the week, the profit targets are hit midweek. And then the trades that I get into midweek, those profit targets are usually hit either at the end of the week or into the following week. Now for this week, because we had that large price movement that occurred when the FOMC announcement and the New Zealand dollar announcement came out on Wednesday, I was kind of expecting this. I was expecting to not really see too much price movement occur in terms of hitting our profit targets after that big news announcement. Okay, so let's go through our wins and losses for each group, and then we will actually walk through each trade that was closed out. So for the free group, they closed out 2 trades for those who chose to take the trades. They had the opportunity to close out 2 trades, one long that was a 140 pip winner, and then one short that was a carryover trade from the previous Friday that was a 55 pip winner. Had they have taken both trades, they would have profited 195 pips. Okay, and they had no losing trades. The members of the 1 hour Forex trading group, they closed out 3 trades. They had one winning long position that had a 320 pip profit. They had one winning short position that had a 55 pip profit. And then they had one losing long position in which we got stopped out by less than 2 pips. When the FOMC and the New Zealand dollar announcement came out, it just so happened to hit our stop loss, and we got stopped out by like 1.5 pips or something. So we took a 165 pip loss on that. This group walked away with a net profit of 210 pips, but like I said, they're in a handful of active trades right now, of which most are currently in profit. And then we've got our premium group who closed out 6 positions this week. They had 2 long trades with a total profit of 360 pips. They took 3 short trades for a total profit of 130 pips. And then they took 1 losing long position, that same position with that 165 pip loss, for a net profit of 325 pips. And again, this group is in a handful of active trades as well. Okay, so let's go through our trades. And these trades are in the sequence in which they were closed. So the first trade was on the Euro USD. It was taken by members of the premium group. They entered a long position on, I believe, Monday, and closed it out the same day for a 40 pip profit. So real nice and easy trade, in and out the same day. The next trade was taken by all 3 groups, and this was the trade that they carried over from the previous Friday. So they entered short up here, and they took profits here for a 55 pip profit. Because we were in this trade since Friday, and we already had our profit target and stop loss in place, you know, we got out here, but obviously there was an opportunity to stay in this trade even longer. Hindsight is 20/20, right? Okay. The next trade that was closed. This is again as another trade that the premium members took. And like I said, they get trades usually twice a day. once in the morning, and then once during the Asian session. My goal for their trades that they take during the Asian session is for them to get about a 30 to 50 pip profit out of it, so that I'm not tying up too much of their capital, okay? Because I could be sending out, trades all day, and I don't want people to end up in 50 trades, and, so I am trying to manage that. Also, I will say the 1 hour Forex trading group, this is a newer membership. So I'm kind of playing around with the idea of potentially scaling back on their profit targets so that they're in and out of their trades within a 24-hour period of time. So I'm going to kind of assess that as over the coming weeks, but that may be a change that I make with that group. Okay. Next trade, this is one that the members of the free group received, and this was a long position on the British pound Australian dollar where they got in here, so a really good entry, and then they exited here. Now, you'll see this same trade in a later slide that members of the 1 hour and premium group took. They had a different profit target on theirs. The reason being is that my goal for the members of the free group is usually to get them in and out of their trades within a 24 to 48 hour period of time. And I expected, because the profit target is so much larger for the other groups, I expected that trade to carry on for longer. However, it just so happens that the profit targets were hit for all three groups within like a 3 hour period of time, 3 to 4 hour period of time. So hindsight, hindsight is 20/20, but still 140 pip profit. The next trade was entered by the members of the premium group. Again, I send them a trade during the Asian session, and they took a 45 pip profit on it. They got in here and then exited here. Real easy trade that they were in and out within a matter of a few hours. And then we had that trade that I mentioned before on the British pound Australian dollar. So this is a trade where we entered long here, and then we had our profit target up here. They walked away with a 320 pip profit on this trade. And both members of the premium and 1 hour group got this trade alert. And then we had that losing trade that I mentioned that impacted members of the premium and 1 hour groups, where we got stopped out by less than 2 pips and took that 165 pip loss. So that is it. Those are all of the trades that we closed out. The last trade was closed out on Wednesday. So the trades that we're carrying were all entered. Well, most of them were entered on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. I believe that there's one that we got into earlier in the week that I'm actually expecting to be in for a longer period of time because it has a pretty substantial profit target on it. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments section below. And as always, happy trading.